Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today with my review for Fallout 4's Wasteland Workshop DLC. Considering I already reviewed Fallout 4's Automatron DLC and will be reviewing Far Harbor as well as the rest of Fallout 4's DLC, I figured I'd even review baby DLC, which is Wasteland Workshop. And so before I dive into anything else, because there's a lot of controversy in the community, but most of them are saying that this DLC is absolute and utter shit. And to some degree, I can agree with that, but in the scheme of things, it's a $5 settlement expansion DLC, and it's worth that money if you're like me and you really do enjoy the settlement mode. But there are a lot of glaring issues with it that I want to get into today, but don't get me wrong on that. It's enjoyable still. It's $5. It's really not a big deal. It's for people who enjoy the settlement mode, but to tell you the truth, there, like I said, are some issues that I think should be discussed. The two arguments that are used against people who are complaining about Wasteland Workshop is that it's only $5, and I get that. $5 willy-nilly, whatever, but you're still paying money for content that you are expecting some quality out of, and if people aren't feeling that it is up to par, then that is their decision, and I don't think it's right for people to argue against that, because money is money. And the second argument is always that, well, this is just a baby DLC and we have Far Harbor coming. Do not worry, Matty. It's going to blow our socks off. And honestly, I'm not going to believe that until I play it like with any other game. I get the hype. I am fucking stoked for Far Harbor. But for now, we're in the moment. We are talking about Wasteland Workshop, and I'm not going to base my thoughts on Wasteland Workshop off of what I think Far Harbor would be. That would be absolutely insane. So for me, when I'm playing this DLC, I'm comparing it to Hearthfire. The reason for that is because in an interview with Todd Howard, he sat down and said that the way they price out their DLC at Bethesda is they look at all their DLC and think of price points. So for Far Harbor, they gave it the price point of $25 because it was more content than Skyrim's Dawnguard, but it was less content than Oblivion's Shivering Isles, even though it's bigger. So for me, I'm thinking $5 for Wasteland Workshop, $5 for Skyrim's Hearthfire. Skyrim, I thought, with Hearthfire, added new mechanics to the game. Even if you were on PC, yes, you did have player homes, yes, you did have the ability to marry companions through mods, but Bethesda added a very stable system into the game, added a bunch of land plots. They did a good job with that. It was essentially the foundation of Fallout 4 settlement mode as well, but I think they did a good job with Hearthfire, and I really got a good amount of time out of it for my $5. With Wasteland Workshop, it's very hard to get your money's worth, even if you're a big settlement builder like me who like to go to every single settlement and deck it out, and almost I started feeling like I was copying and pasting my settlements everywhere I went. So it was refreshing to have a set of brand new original assets to decorate my settlement with and really bring some personality to it. I really did appreciate that personally, being able to label stuff and being able to plant gardens and build new structures out of concrete and do a lot of different things that really kind of brought things to life. But to be fair, you have to look very deep for it. In every section, there's just a couple of new things, but they all do add up, and there's a lot of cool different lights, there's a lot of different decorations and defense and traps and all that stuff. It's cool. But the main highlight arena focuses on the biggest glaring issue, in my opinion, with Fallout 4, which is its crappy AI. And basically the way you get people to fight in the arena is getting them to see each other, but getting them to even be on the same team or against each other is such a hassle because you have to go ahead and highlight them, pick them, mark them on the little blue team mat or the red team mat, and when you do that, then they're on that team. But if they see each other in the middle of that, they're going to shoot each other, so you have to go ahead and select them and mark them to go somewhere and gradually work them around your settlement until you finally have them on their team and they're out of the sight of the person on the other team, and then finally you can build them into a little fighting arena. And if it's vertical, you're gonna have to find a way to get them up there, and the way I did that was by ringing a little bell, and then they all ran to it and ended up shooting each other. But after that point, it's such a hassle. It's like, damn, that took almost an hour to get them both to get ready to fight each other. I don't want to do that again. So for me, arenas kind of brought out the worst in Fallout 4, was trying to navigate its AI, because a lot of the times I was just having trouble constantly trying to get them to do exactly what I wanted, and they just wouldn't listen sometimes. Speaking of bad AI, even when you place down new traps in Fallout 4, like the spinning blades, settlers just walk straight into them and don't even care. And I actually lost a settler at one point, and I kind of thought that was a little frustrating because I figured maybe they could have like some type of vision cone that says like, oh, that's a trap, I'm gonna go the other way. It was to the point where I actually put up a junk fence to say like, get the fuck away from the trap, this is to protect you, do not walk into it. And maybe this was an issue with traps in Fallout 4 before Wasteland Workshop, but since you have like like I said, the spinning blades, like things that are constantly moving, it was kind of frustrating to see them walking into it. But it's really hard to sit here and just bitch my brains out about a $5 piece of content. It's really up to the player and their preference and their thoughts on the settlement mode. Me personally, I enjoyed it. I really like the addition of some new assets such as the fusion generator, which basically makes it so you just need one generator in your settlement. It provides 100 electricity, doesn't use any fusion cores. It's a really cool addition because you can just go ahead and put little conduits all around your settlement, and instead of having a bunch of tiny little generators stacked up in different places, this is a much better way to do things. Also, I mentioned garden plots. I think they're great because now you can plant food anywhere, and I mean anywhere. I was building skyscrapers that had little garden plots that were designed just to house food, and I really like that because a lot of settlements don't have enough grass or flat land to actually plant food. And so for me to have garden plots that I can go ahead and just place wherever in the hell I want was really much appreciated. They also added like new water pumps, which are powered by electricity, and I think give you about 20 to 25 water, I don't remember, but basically it's another convenience factor. A lot of these things are convenience to kind of clear up your settlement, make things look a little bit neater so you don't see like 40 generators, 20 water pumps and all that crap. Instead, it's more focused on the decorations and the cool stuff that you put on your settlement. And I have to say, I do appreciate some of the variety, seeing strings of light bulbs or different color light bulbs or high-tech lights. It's really nice. But I do have to be completely honest and say that I've seen a lot of these already in mods because they were just assets pulled from the full game into the current game. There are new original assets. There are stuff that is new added into the game, at least in my opinion. I think I've seen a few. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've only seen a few objects a few times and my memory's just not working right now. But yes, my final verdict for this is basically if you are a settlement builder, it's only $5. Give it a whirl. But if you are anything else in Fallout 4 and you get easily frustrated with bad AI, just skip it, really. And that's hard for me to say, to be honest. Even for $5 DLC for Fallout 4, to tell you guys to genuinely skip it kind of sucks to say, but really it's not impressive, and the main feature of it doesn't work as well as people thought. And I was kind of a little upset that you couldn't have people like betting on the fight and stuff. It's not as much of an intuitive mechanic as I thought it was. It's literally just tricking the game into getting settlers aggroed against each other. That's really all it is. It's more of a forced mechanic than me actually having a genuine running arena in my settlement. But with all that said, I think it's going to be really cool to see some of the new stuff people build in the Fallout 4 settlement mode. So I am really excited about that. I'm going to continue building in it. I'm really excited to see how stuff like the cages and capturing mutants plays into Far Harbor, for example. I know we talked about not basing it off of that, but I thought a little bit about it and how we're going to see probably new creatures there. And it's going to be really cool to see that and be like, I wonder if we're going to be able to get that in our settlement. And I really do appreciate being able to tame the creatures because now it's really cool because it's forcing that idea of actually rebuilding the Wasteland, where now we have robots, humans, and mutants all working together in a settlement. And I think that's a really cool feature. We're going to see a lot of interesting settlements full of death claws and stuff, and it really does start to run up on your resources to the point where I had to start going out and farming. But nonetheless, those are my thoughts on Fallout 4's Wasteland Workshop DLC. As the title suggests, it's just for settlement builders, but if you're anything other than that, just stay away, save your money, go buy yourself a Happy Meal or some shit, alright? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts on Wasteland Workshop in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe for more Fallout content. You know that's what I'm all about. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are in the description. Check out SugarBomb.com, the place by Bethesda fans for Bethesda fans. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.